Hey everybody, this is Mike for Faraday Research. It is Friday, and last night I did some interesting testing on the RPG last night and made a startling, earth-breaking discovery of the RPG device. I've had a lot of people ask for the schematic of the RPG system, so I'll be doing an update on that, and I'll be posting that only in the Patreon. Now, this startling, earth-shaking discovery I made on the RPG last night will only be posted in my Patreon. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, bottom right hand corner, also the links in the description will be below so you can sign up with Patreon. Now, this is a very important discovery. I also have a mock-up concept mathematical formula for this. I'll be posting this in my Patreon, so if you haven't become a member below in the description there. The links are there. Also PayPal, donate, all that stuff if you want to help support my channel. But I have made an earth-breaking discovery with also a mathematical formula to back up my claim. Now, this is my claim. People can challenge it, that's fine. But because this is such an earth-shattering piece of information on my RPG device, I feel that, okay, I'm very open source. I show everything. I've got over 200 and plus videos. I share a lot, but there's a certain aspect of this machine that I'll only share in the Patreon. So if you want to learn the real secret behind this machine, how this machine is way over Unity, and I can prove it by the math. Now, all I can say is it is a great opportunity to become a Patreon. The link is below. I'm going to give you a mathematical formula. Maybe I might do a demonstration of it, but the problem is the demonstration would have to be at least 4 to 6 hours long to actually prove my point. But the testing that I did last night proves exactly what my mathematical formula is actually telling me. So, and also a very important component in the device that makes this happen, as well as the effect of what happens when you use the battery. So this is earth-shattering. It was like almost like a freaking epiphany, if you want to call it that. And yeah, it only happens with one certain type of battery. So all this information will be in the Patreon. It will be a video as well as a schematic drawing of the device, which I've shown pretty much everything that the device is. I've been very transparent with it, very open source. But the intellectual nature of what I've discovered, I have to put it in the Patreon. You know, I just can't give this away for free because, you know, it comes to the point where, okay, I'm giving all this stuff out continuously, no problem. I'll show you everything. But now I have a mathematical formula to prove what the motor is doing, the motor generator is doing. Now I got that in mathematical formula, and you can take that mathematical formula now and build your own machine based on this mathematical formula. And therefore, you're going to have a system that basically runs forever. So, there's no other way I can describe it. So below in the description, sign up for my Patreon. I'll be posting a lot of exclusive videos pertaining to this discovery I made. It was complete epiphany. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. And I did some research on certain type of batteries that have this effect. So, yeah, best thing to do to get all the exclusive information on what I've discovered with the RPG device, as I haven't changed anything of the device from what you're going to see in the exclusive videos in Patreon. It's the same device. I haven't changed anything with the device. It's what the device is actually doing. And that is the important part. So that's, to me, that's intellectual property. So if you want to learn this secret, I'm going to give it all to you in the video in the Patreon. So I'll have, number one, the mathematical formula. Number two, I'm going to give you the full detailed schematic of how to wire it. Okay. And then the third is going to reveal what's actually happening to the system and why this thing is over Unity, and basically will run pretty much indefinitely as long as the batteries stay good, which the average car battery lasts 4 to 5 years, 6 years. You would never have to change the battery. So yeah, all I can say is become a Patreon below. You'll get the secret, you'll get the exclusive, you'll get the mathematical formula, so you can design your motor based on this mathematical formula. And the testing I did last night was basically unanimous what it was actually doing. And because of this, that's why I feel that this information that I have can only be posted in the Patreon. As far as what the device is and how it's constructed, how it's put together, it's all free. It's out there. It's open source. It's just, you have a device and you're trying to figure out what it's actually doing when you have something that's working. And 9 times out of 10, you don't really understand exactly what is actually happening in this device that you just built. It might take 2 years, it might take 4, it might take 5 years down the road before you go, aha, and everything becomes clear on exactly what's going on. So there was a couple parts in the motor that I overlooked, and I didn't realize that, wow, it was a wow moment, like unbelievable. Like I'm still kind of, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, that's why I feel that this is the type of content that can only be put in the Patreon. If you want to know the real secrets of this motor exclusively, why it does what it does, and why it's different than everything that's out there. So all I could say is become a Patreon below. There's a lot of great stuff in there. There's videos, there's schematics of all my concepts and my ideas. There's everything's in there. Like anything that goes through my head, I put on the Patreon. So it's well worth definitely to watch and become a member. And also it helps me out, because the more revenue I can generate, the better, more I can expand on the device, make it a working model. As you know, I've got the new server case. I want to make a commercial version of what my concept is. And now, because of this epiphany last night, and now I got a mathematical formula to kind of prove my point, even more so that I have to get this device built in a commercial version. And then that way I can move forward. And also I'm going to take it to a laboratory, hopefully in the next month or two, and actually get it validated by somebody who's pretty well known in the industry. So yeah, all I can say is subscribe, bottom right hand corner, become a Patreon below in the description, and we'll see everybody soon.